We've got with us a guest who has joined with AFA in promoting and getting this film out there to your churches so that people can get out there and watch these films and be motivated to do the right thing in the upcoming elections, not only in November, but of course in 2016 as well, and to begin, as I said earlier, to take back America. He is the president of Echolight. Echolight is an organization, again, that has joined AFA in the promotion of this. They produce and promote high-quality films for families of faith. And we sure appreciate Jeff Sheets being with us. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Dan, thank you so much. It is a joy to be here. And my partner, Rick Santorum, he's on a plane, or he'd be here with us as well. I just hung up with him. So they told him the door's shut and get off the phone.
Okay. I understand, as someone that seems like half my life on a plane.
Absolutely.
I can appreciate that, and that's fine. And we appreciate Rick Santorum, of course, lives in my home state, not far from me, actually. I come out of the Philadelphia area, but I'm a little bit west of Philadelphia with Rick, and have had the opportunity to talk with Rick many times. I know his heart. Jeff, tell us about you're involved with AFA in producing and promoting these two documentaries. Again, One Generation Away and A Time to Speak. Tell us about them.
Well, I'll tell you, Dan, I appreciate that, and I appreciate our partnership with AFA more than you may even know. When we had a heart for this film, for this subject matter of the erosion of religious liberty in America, and some of the executives of AFA called and said, hey, we'd like to talk to you about producing a film for us. And I said, fantastic. Let me tell you what the Lord's kind of been moving in my heart about. And I started telling him, they stopped and said, that's what our movie's about. So we said, you know what, let's just partner. And boy, I'll tell you what, Dan, the Lord provided the most unbelievable opportunity. We have 60 voices in this movie that come from actually both sides of the spectrum, and we get to hear firsthand about, using 7 different case studies, the challenge that's going on today. And, you know, a lot of people that see it for the first time say, I can't believe this is going on in America. It is quite incredible. And so that's why we produced the movie, to get it out, to equip people to engage in this conversation, really to stop, we need to start the dialogue again, where we're taking a stand, where we're letting our voice be heard. Tony Perkins in the movie says, let's stop self-censoring. Let's stop being quiet, and let's stand up with the appropriate level of humility, but with boldness, and engage the culture.
Mm. So why, and both these films are very similar. I mean, they're the same message for certain. I've seen both of them.
Yeah. They're definitely the same message. We've got One Generation Away is 85 minutes. It's got opposing voices as well as supporting voices. Mm-hmm. A Time to Speak is a little more of an engagement. It's shorter. It's 60 minutes. We've dropped the opposing voices, and it's got a little more get out the vote. But you're exactly right. They are both. And the incredible thing is for churches, as you said, we are engaged in helping, equipping, and waking up the church to lend their a critical voice to this conversation. And so the way that we've had it is a church can host the movie in their church over the next 2.5 months. They can host the movie in their church, and in the church, before the DVD is released to the public, they'll have a One Generation Away DVD that they'll be able to sell. And AFA has provided a special Patriot Pack, which is 5 copies of A Time to Speak, which is a 60-minute version and a little tighter focus with respect to engagement. Are you ready for this, Dan? For $5. Mm. So, a One Generation Away DVD be a $15 DVD, but the 5-pack will be $5, so they can give it out to their families and friends. So the goal here really is to engage the church to communicate this, broadly to the country.
Just for our listeners to know and understand. And, as Jeff just said, we're going to supply 5 copies of that. As I'm fortunate enough to sit on the board at AFA, and as a board member and even as a part of the finance committee, one of the things that is our goal, is AFA's goal, is we're not trying. This is a project that is truly a ministry of AFA. This is something that we are adopting. We're excited about what AFA Studios has done with this film. And we're not doing this to be selling DVDs. We're doing this so that you'll take 4 of those 5 DVDs, maybe even all 5 of them once you have seen it, and pass it along and encourage those folks to pass it along. We need, in my opinion, as someone that has viewed these, we need every single conservative evangelical, every conservative in America to sit back and watch this and to be motivated to put a little bit of feet to their faith and stand up and speak out. And that's the goal. And you're helping us do that, Jeff, by getting this into theaters, into churches, and churches to host this, to call in their surrounding community to come view this.
That's right, Dan. And when I saw this morning that your focus of your show, which I'm familiar with, is financial stewardship, I thought to myself, what a perfect place to talk about the stewardship of this message, because that's really what God has done. God has, in an almost supernatural way, raised up all of these voices coming together. We constantly get the question, how in the world did you get all these people to participate in this? And it's only God could do that. He opened those doors. And so, in my estimation, there's really 2 stewardship elements here. There's one to the pastors. Jim Garlow at Skyline Baptist or Skyline Church out in California says in the movie, pastors, it is time to stop talking about Dietrich Bonhoeffer and be willing to be Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Mm-hmm. So from a pastoral call of being able to take a stand and to engage your congregation, that's a real stewardship opportunity. The second one is a stewardship opportunity to the membership, the laity, saying, listen, your pastor is getting assailed by so many messages out there. This is something that I could read Oliver North's quote. I could read Eric Metaxas has called me this morning. He's very, very excited. He's part of the film as well. General Boykin. This is saying every Christian American needs to see this. So to engage your pastor and say, hey, listen, let me get you this information. If you go to aTimeToSpeak.com, there are engagement tools right there. You can literally click on a button and send this to your pastor. Say, hey, pastor, would you take a look at this? Very simple. And if you're a pastor, you can click on that, and for free, you can watch the full HD version of the movie. So that's what's already set up at aTimeToSpeak.com.
aTimeToSpeak.com. And let me just say this to everyone listening. If you don't know this, your pastors are inundated with information to watch, to read, to listen to on a very regular basis. And they would love to get to all of it, and it's very difficult. You need to impress upon them the importance of this, that this is about the country, this is about our religious freedoms. You need to make sure that they understand this is not something to set on top of their pile along with everything else. They need to get right to it. They need to see it. They need to go to the link. They need to watch it, and they need to get behind it. So if you're a church leader out there, and I know there are many of them listening, if you're a church leader out there, you need to engage them, help them to engage them into getting a hold of this, to watching it, and not just say, oh, yeah, I'll get to it when I get a chance. Jeff,
right.
Go ahead, yeah. Jeff. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say that, in the theatrical world, because we make a lot of movies, Dan, at Echolight Studios. They're all faith movies. They're all redemptive. Last year at Christmas time, we spent a grand total of $11 million producing and getting a movie called The Christmas Candle out in the marketplace, and it was wonderful.
I remember.
But I will tell you, that is such a challenge to communicate in a mass communication way to the masses, and then to get them to go to the theaters. We determined this is a gift that we can give the church. And One Generation Away and A Time to Speak are our world premiere films coming through Echolight Cinemas. So a church can go in and register to be an Echolight Cinema to show this in their church. And the pastor, all of a sudden, they don't have to don't have to be a marketing guy sending people out to the theaters. They can have ownership of this event and say, hey, this is our event. This is an incredible in-reach opportunity. This is an incredible outreach opportunity. We just had a large event, and they estimated 30% of the people that were at the event, 700 people came, were from outside of that church. And so I just want our people to know, for us, we're doing this as a tool and as a gift to the church to help position them within culture where the church has been for thousands of years. It's only recently that church has gone from being number one as the cultural influencer. In the last 50 years, the church, Barna Research, gone from number 1 to number 16. And guess what number 1 is today? Movies. Yeah. So we're trying to bring these back together and recenter the church, leveraging a tool that the world is very familiar with to impact the culture.
Well, Jeff, I could say this. The board members at AFA, and I know we are extremely excited with our partnership with you as AFA Studios partners with Echolight on this, and we're extremely excited. We're so happy to have something out there that is we know is going to motivate people to stand up and to and particularly pastors. I've always believed when we speak of revival that it's got to start at the pulpit. And I did a DVD special called Fed Up, and one of the people on it was Dr. Michael Youssef. I mean, we had Steve Forbes and T. Boone Pickens and Ben Stein and so many on that. And I remember Dr. Michael Youssef said, we're the problem, speaking about himself as pastors. He said, we're the ones that 100 years ago questioned the divinity of Christ, and 50 years ago started to question the inerrancy of Scripture. That has permeated the pews, that has permeated our society, and this is what we have today. And he believes, as I do, that revival's got to start at the pulpit with pastors, and this is a wonderful instrument for pastors to begin that process of revivals in their hearts and to their congregation. So we're really excited about it. It's a time to speak. All one word, aTimeToSpeak.com. Everybody listening needs to go to that today, this evening, watch that, motivate your pastors to get to that link to do the same. Jeff Sheets, president of Echolight. And Jeff, we sure appreciate, again, your partnership, your commitment to this. And please give Rick Santorum our best. Tell him we thank him as well.
I will do that, Dan. If I could make one closing comment, I just want to tell you that I have watched and been a part of and been so encouraged by AFA and the voice that you've been in the marketplace. You know, AFA, I said to an AFA person yesterday, you're like an icebreaker that's going into areas that is jammed up and breaking that ice and providing a path for other people to come in, kind of the tip of the spear. Yeah. And the Lord has, speaking of stewardship, he has used you mightily. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate those kind words and sure appreciate you being with us.